Hey, so compost was successfully picked up this morning. As you can see, there's nothing in there. But one thing that I was not aware of or overlooked is that there's a weight limit for compost. It's 50 pounds. And so I actually got a notice telling me that I went over the limit, and I was concerned actually that I would get fined. But fortunate for me, it was just a notice telling me that I went overweight and then I should not go over the weight in the future. And so I will be limiting what I put in this bin every week to less than 50 pounds, which I think should be pretty easy. And really because the main reason why I went over 50 pounds is because I was dealing with, all of the junk that was in that compost bin, and then just trying to clean up around that, clean up the weeds. And so because of that, there was soil in with the mix. And so that's really what, put the weight over 50 pounds. So I feel bad about that, but I'm grateful for the service that I have and that I'm able to learn from my mistakes rather than be fined for my mistakes. So that's nice. And then so what I'm going to do today is take care of the fire pit, do some of the weeding, get these burst sticks and whatnot in this bin, as well as do some miscellaneous weeding around the house, mainly just getting after some of the large weeds that have popped up. And so after, I get this fire pit under control, I will, be starting with the weeding here and around the deck. And I think that will be a nice way for me to assess the weed situation around the house and get that under control. And I also might tackle some miscellaneous stuff here. Like I've been told this is the beginning of a burr plant. So I might cut that out and then maybe replace the grass here with some sod. But yeah, for the most part, my goal is really just to get in this routine of weeding. Hey, check that out. So I've spent maybe the past half an hour or so weeding, and this fire pit really transformed. I did not expect there to be the little drop here into the pit, just because there was so much really organic material built up. It was essentially like a giant compost pile there. And so I'm surprised to find what looks like brick and concrete squares in there. And a lot of the roots were pretty easy to pull up because they put a bunch of sand in there, so that the roots from the weeds had really just grown into sand. I should note that a couple things that I found in there. One was a snake skin. I didn't take a photo of it and was kind of in autopilot mode, and so that is now in the compost bin. There were tons of crickets, beetles, things like that. So I did feel a little bad kind of destroying that ecosystem that had developed in there. But, it was just a bunch of weeds, grass trimmings, from cutting the grass. So I cleaned all that out. And so I'm pretty impressed with this. I was thinking I would want to get some gravel or something to put in there to make it a little more, fire safe. But it actually looks pretty big, I think largely just because of the size of it being at least 3 feet across. One thing I don't like about it is how close it is to the house and the deck there. But it does seem like it's big enough that, a fire could be contained in there safely. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hose it off so we can see it a little bit better. I feel pretty good about this, just as long as I keep the weeds out. So yeah, I am pretty stoked about that. And although I am a little disappointed at how much junk was in there, how much material, I basically filled up the bin there. So I don't know that I will be able to get to this stuff this week, but there are some miscellaneous large weeds around the house that I will pull because I don't want them to become larger, perhaps more problematic in the future. And so I will be taking care of those. And if there is room in the bin, it doesn't seem to be too heavy right now, so I can add a little more to it. Then I will tackle this stuff there and then throw some sod back there, whether that's for grass to grow or just to keep those weeds at bay. But yeah, I am stoked about this pit. Looking forward to showing a photo of it once it's been hosed off. And yeah, I mean, if you enjoy this content, if it's helpful for you, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be doing my best to be getting more videos out on a routine basis. So thanks a lot for tuning in. Okay, bye.